Hey, Calvin again, coming to you guys from Texas, working on the old 66 Ford pickup. My oil pressure gauge isn't working on my dash. So to find out if it's my gauge that's bad or the pressure sensor itself, I'm going to show you guys how to test that to see which one is bad, the gauge or the sensor. So first off, I'm going to start with the sensor itself. And by testing it, what I want to do is pull the hot wire off of the oil pressure sensor itself and then ground that wire down to a bolt or somewhere on the block, and then turn my ignition switch on. If I turn my ignition switch on and the oil pressure gauge goes all the way to the right, then I know I got a bad sensor. So I'll show you guys how to do that right quick. So again, I'm going to take one of my gator clips, and here's the oil pressure sensor right here. And like I said, I'm going to ground this out. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to put me a connection right there on the inside, make sure it's making contact to my gator clip. And then I'm going to ground this out to a bolt on the truck somewhere. So we'll just try it right here. And then I'm going to go to the inside of the truck, turn the ignition to the on position. I'm not going to start the truck. I'm just going to turn the accessories on and see if my oil pressure sensor goes to the far right. If that's the case, then I know I need to replace my oil sensor. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to turn the ignition to the on position, and then we want to see if our oil pressure gauge moves to the right. Because again, as the truck's running, my oil pressure gauge doesn't come on. So let's test it out. So again, got my ignition switch, key in, and I'm going to grab the phone right quick, and then we're looking to see if this oil pressure sensor moves on us or doesn't move when we turn the ignition to the on position. All right, here we go. Okay. So I turned it to the on position and it goes to the far right. Again, my ignition switches to the on position. So that tells me I got a bad oil pressure sending unit. So let's get it replaced. Okay, I ultimately had to end up taking off this extension piece from the block of the engine. That's where these threads bolt into in order to get some more leverage on the oil pressure sending unit. And I think this might be the original one, so that might be why it's not working. But I'll get this new one replaced and then get it installed back on the block and see if that works. So this is the new oil pressure sending unit. That's the old one. It's like a little bit different size, but still same year, make, and model, so it should work. I'll go ahead and get it installed. Okay, I got the oil pressure sending unit replaced. I'll show you what that looks like. Got the new one on, got the hot wire to the end of it. And they got the oil pressure dummy light connection on as well. So we'll start it up and see if that fixes our problem. Come on, let's. Looks like that fixed our problem, so now we got oil pressure. And then notice that the needle on the gauge isn't bouncing, doing any of that. It's just a good level gauge on the good steady needle on the gauge. So perfect. So that's how you guys test your oil pressure sensor if it's bad, and then a video on how to replace it. So we got good pressure. Thank you guys.